I never imagined the day would come when the person I loved the most would be the one to throw me out. But life wasn't done with me. It had saved one final truth. A truth that would turn my entire world upside down. My name is Layla and I'm 56 years old. After my husband passed away, the house felt painfully empty, so I packed what was left of my life and moved in with my daughter Sarah and her husband Nader. I tried to stay small, invisible, helpful. But Nader made it clear from day one that I was a burden he never agreed to carry. He rolled his eyes when I spoke, changed the TV channel while I was watching something, muttered "freeloader" under his breath when he walked past me. Sarah said nothing. She always said he was stressed, that I shouldn't take it personally. But inside I felt myself shrinking. Then one night, everything shattered. We were at the dinner table. I had cooked Nader's favorite meal. The silence was heavy when he suddenly said, "Maybe it's time we stop pretending this is temporary. We're not a charity." I looked at Sarah, praying she would defend me, but she didn't even meet my eyes. Instead she whispered, "Maybe it's best if you find something more stable, for everyone's sake." I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I packed 2 suitcases, everything I had left, and walked out of their door. That night I checked into a small run-down motel with peeling wallpaper and buzzing lights. I lay awake, wondering how my own daughter could abandon me so easily. The next morning I opened a box of keepsakes I had grabbed on my way out. Inside I found something I hadn't seen in years. My mother's old diary. I opened it expecting memories, but instead I found a confession. Secret. A name. My mother wrote about a man she once loved. A powerful businessman with a family and reputation to protect. A man who promised to leave something for me if he died. She wrote that I must never know the truth. But now I did. I searched for days until I found his former lawyer, an elderly man named Mr. Goldstein. I wrote to him, and 2 weeks later he called, his voice trembling as he said, "I always wondered if you'd reach out someday. There's something you need to see." I traveled to his office. He handed me an old envelope from Hassan Sharifi, the founder of one of the largest private companies in the country. Inside the letter he acknowledged that I was his daughter. He apologized for the secrecy, and he revealed that he had left a portion of his private assets to me through Mr. Goldstein. When I opened the folder I was stunned. Bank accounts, investments, property titles. Over $1 million in total. For the first time in months I felt chosen, seen. I didn't go back to Sarah and Nader's neighborhood. Not yet. Instead I learned about investing, contracts, and real estate. And then I found it, an apartment building up for auction. The same building where Sarah and Nader lived. Without hesitation I bought it. Quietly, legally, completely. The day the paperwork was finalized I whispered, "Let's see how Nader handles paying rent to the woman he pushed out." Their rent tripled. Not doubled, tripled. And everything began to unravel. Nader stormed into the property office, sent furious emails, shouted about injustice. Sarah looked exhausted, thinner, worn down. I saw her at the grocery store put back a box of pasta because she couldn't afford it. My heart broke, but I stayed silent. Sometimes silence teaches people what your voice never could. Weeks passed. Their relationship cracked. Tenants reported arguments, broken glass, long nights of shouting. Until the mandatory tenant meeting arrived. The room filled with people. Nader marched in first, demanding to speak to the owner. The manager simply said, "The owner is here today." I stood up. Sarah gasped. Nader stared at me in disbelief. "Good evening," I said calmly. "My name is Layla. I'm the owner of this building." The room went silent. Nader exploded, "You ruined our lives." I looked him in the eyes. "No. You ruined your own life the day you forgot compassion." Sarah stepped between us and whispered, "Nader, stop." And something shifted in that moment. A week later, on a rainy night, someone knocked on my door. It was Sarah, soaked, trembling, carrying nothing but fear in her eyes. "Mom, I left him," she whispered. "I don't know who I am without him, but I don't want to disappear again." She didn't ask for money. She didn't ask for help. She just needed safety, and I let her in quietly, slowly. Over the next few weeks she found herself again. Therapy, art classes, a new apartment. She even painted a phoenix rising from ashes and gave it to me. Eventually I sold the building. Half the profit went to a shelter for women in crisis. The place I wish I had known existed the night Sarah and Nader pushed me out. The other half bought me a small house of my own. And one night, looking out my window with a warm cup of tea, I whispered the words I had never said aloud. I forgive you. Not to Sarah but to myself. They tried to erase me. But I became someone they could never forget. If you're still here listening to my story, thank you. It means more than you know. And if you want more stories like this, real, raw, and transformative, don't forget to subscribe and check out the other videos on my channel. And now tell me in the comments, would you have forgiven, or walked away forever?